GLC presents a Studio B production, brought to you by the donations of our faithful partners.
Hello. You know, this is the 60th show I've done for GLC. That's amazing, isn't it? What God can do, what He's up to. So much of the time, God asks you to give something first, and then later He gives back to you in a much greater way than you would ever think of. About a year ago, I was saving some money for something I really wanted. And then people were giving me a lot of money into my ministry, but I didn't want to spend it on myself. I wanted to spend it on what God wanted it to go for. I wanted to have a ministry, and I asked the Lord for this. Could I have a ministry that I do on a very, very small budget, and then all of the money that comes in I use to put it where you want it to go? Because one time I heard a pastor say, when God tests you and finds out that He can send money through your hands and you won't spend it on houses and boats and cars and whatever, He will send millions through you. I said, God, I want to be somebody like that. I want to be somebody trustworthy. You take care of my needs anyway, Lord. And so I have seen the Lord take money that I have set aside myself to, saved and saved and saved, and I've seen the Lord come to me and say, will you give that? It'll be a sacrifice. Will you give it? And then, as I said in my ministry, for about the last 2 years, pretty much everything that's come in, I have sent it out to help feed orphans or fund a man's trying to get a television station going for a nation. I've helped send people to school, college, orphans to school. Right now, I'm trying to get the money together to help a pastor buy a car. I've been in that car for the last 2 years, and that thing is held together by baling wire. I'm sure it falls apart. It just dies when we need it in these bad ruts in all the roads in Africa, and it just bounces along and tears that car up. I also have a pastor over there that needs an arm. His arm, he was in a wreck and he lost his arm. And I want to try to help him get an artificial arm. And so the money that has come in, the money that still comes in, the money that a lot of you send me, I want to be a really good steward of that money, and I want to give it where God wants it. God says, give, and it'll be given back to you. And I have prayed really for the last couple of years, make me a bigger giver than I have been. Make me a bigger giver. And I see God make me a bigger giver. He gives me more money to give away, and He says, good, not going to spend it on yourself, are you? Nope, Lord, I'm going to do it on where you want it to go. Knowing what I know through 35 years of giving and understanding God's plan and His purpose for giving, I knew God was going to bless me. I didn't doubt it. I've seen Him do it too many times. And it would come in a way that I knew it was God. It would be a desire of my heart. It would be better than I ever thought it could be. But I really thought in the last 2 years, I've got you now, Lord. I'm giving more than ever, and I don't see how you could possibly give me anything I want, because I'm happy. I'm happy. I can't even think of anything I want. Now, I'm a woman. Come on, let's get real. I could sit down and start naming stuff. I'm not going to say that. But I'm talking about, is there anything you really want? No? Nope. I just want to give this money away. I know that. But how in the world are you going to pay me back, Lord? I can't even imagine. You know how He paid me back? I got this TV show. This is the most amazing thing that has happened in my life up to this point. I'm looking at you, and you live in another country. You are watching by the internet. You're watching by satellite. You're watching at a friend's house. You happen to just flip the channels and turned on to this show. And God wants to speak to you, and God's using me to speak to you. It's amazing to me. I'm just in awe of it. I'm telling you, this is the 60th show I've done. God is amazing. You can't outgive Him. In fact, I think he delights in saying, just see if you can. Just see if you can. So today we're going to discuss God's purpose and God's plan for giving. I'm going to go over the purpose first before I go over the plan. What's the purpose of giving?